Welcome back to TRP Podcasts. We're going to deep dive today into making progress faster, like way faster.
Yeah.
Like imagine achieving 5 years worth of goals in just 1 year. That's what we're talking about today. 15 rules that can get you there.
Sounds pretty impossible, right?
Yeah, it does. But we'll see.
It might sound that way.
Yeah.
But these rules can really change the way you approach your goals. It's all about shifting your thinking and taking strategic action.
So let's go through these one by one. The first rule is all about focus. It's called the power of one.
Okay. So,
It's easy to get distracted, right? Like trying to do too many things at once.
Yeah.
Multitasking.
yeah.
But this power of one idea, it's about picking that single most important goal, and just going all in on that.
So instead of making a massive to-do list, we should be saying, what is the one thing that will make the biggest impact right now?
Exactly. It's about prioritizing and focusing on what truly matters. Like think about the 80-20 rule, where 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. So if we can focus on that 20%, that one key goal, we can get the most bang for our buck. Makes sense.
Exactly.
What's the second rule?
Number 2 is finding your North Star. This is about having that clear sense of direction, and sticking to it. So that could be a mentor you trust, a strategy, a role model, someone whose path you admire.
So it's like having a guiding principle that helps you stay on course.
Exactly. It's easy to get distracted by shiny objects or the latest trends, but if you have that North Star, it helps you stay focused on the ultimate destination, even when things get tough.
So it's easy to get lost in the weeds and get sidetracked, and this helps you stay on course.
Totally.
Okay, makes sense. All right, rule number 3. This one sounds really interesting. Double down for exponential growth. What does that even mean?
So basically, putting in twice the effort doesn't just double your results. Sometimes it can multiply those results by 4 or even 8 times.
Wait, how is that possible?
Well, it's the power of compounding. When you double down, you become more focused, you learn faster, and you actually start to find better tools and resources. And all of that accelerates your progress even further.
So it's like a snowball effect. The more effort you put in at the start, the faster the results come later.
Exactly. Like think about learning a new skill.
Right.
The more you practice, the faster you improve, the easier it becomes to learn more advanced things.
Yeah. So it's not about working harder. It's about working smarter and getting that initial effort in to get bigger gains later on.
Interesting. What's rule number 4?
Rule number 4, fueling your motivation.
Oh,
And this one gets a little bit personal.
tell me more.
It's not just about visualizing your goals and success.
Yeah.
Dreaming about those things.
Right.
It's also about understanding what you're trying to get away from. What are you running from? What are you trying to avoid?
So it's like the positive outcome you're striving for and the negative consequence you're trying to escape. Having a clear picture of both. Exactly. Having both of those can be really powerful. Sometimes fear can be a motivator, just like the excitement of reaching a certain goal.
It's like a carrot and stick approach.
Yeah.
Pushing you forward from both sides.
I like it.
I'm starting to think about motivation differently now. What's
Yeah.
rule number 5 all about?
So rule number 5 is about setting yourself up for success before the day even begins. So winning the day before it begins.
So being proactive and setting yourself up for success.
Yeah. Taking a few minutes each evening to plan your day, set your priorities, remove obstacles. If you want to work out in the morning, lay out your clothes the night before, have an important meeting, get your materials together.
To remove the friction.
Yeah, exactly. And eliminate those little decision points and the roadblocks that could come up. By doing that, you're much more likely to stick to your plan.
Yeah, I love that tip. I think I need to start doing that.
I think you'll be surprised by how much of a difference it makes. Even small steps like that can lead to big results.
All right, on to rule number 6.
Okay, number 6 is have an action bias and a speed bias. This one's about taking action and moving quickly. Don't get stuck in overthinking or perfectionism.
So being decisive and taking that first step, even if you're not sure what's going to happen.
Exactly. A lot of successful people and companies operate with this speed bias because they know action leads to feedback, and feedback leads to learning and improvement.
So it's not about avoiding mistakes. It's about making them quickly and learning from them.
Right. The longer you wait, the more opportunities you miss. Sometimes it's better to make a decision and adjust course along the way than to just stay stuck in analysis paralysis.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to that. I tend to overthink things.
We all do. But the key is to recognize when you're doing it and just push yourself to take action.
I like that. Okay, rule number 7, what's next?
Rule number 7 is about tuning out the noise, being mindful of the information you consume, and the distractions. Minimizing distractions like social media, The news cycle, anything that drains your energy and your focus.
So being intentional with your attention.
Exactly. Think about how much time you might be spending on things that don't contribute to your goals.
Oh, yeah. It's easy to fall down the social media rabbit hole or the news cycle, and it just,
Drains your energy.
yeah, and it can be really negative as well.
It can. And all of that noise can really take a toll on your mental clarity and your productivity.
So it's about creating a peaceful and focused mental environment.
Exactly. Reclaiming your time and attention.
Yeah.
And directing those towards what truly matters.
It's like a decluttering of your mental space.
Yeah.
Interesting. I like that. What's rule number 8?
Okay, rule number 8 is investing in expertise. Sometimes the fastest way to learn and progress is to seek guidance from those who are already experts.
So it's being willing to invest in yourself and your growth.
Exactly. So that might be hiring a coach, taking a course, paying for a consultation with someone who has that knowledge and experience. Even a small investment can save you a lot of time and money in the long run by helping you avoid mistakes.
It's like taking a shortcut by tapping into someone else's knowledge.
Totally. Recognizing you don't have to figure it all out on your own. Sometimes the fastest way to learn is from people who have already done it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, on to rule number 9.
Rule number 9 is the 60% rule and embracing completion. So this is recognizing that most people tend to give up on projects or goals right around the 60% mark.
That's interesting. Why do you think that is?
It's usually when things start getting really tough, the initial excitement's worn off,
Yeah.
and you're facing the challenging part of the project.
So having the grit and the perseverance to push through those hard times.
Yeah. And it's also understanding that the real learning and growth often happens in those final stages, when you're refining your work, tying up loose ends.
Pushing through to the end, even when it gets hard.
Exactly. And the feeling of accomplishment when you finish something you started is so rewarding.
Yeah, it's a good feeling. Okay, I'm ready for number 10.
Okay, rule number 10, unplugging from the digital vortex.
Taking a break from technology.
It is. It's about consciously disconnecting from platforms like social media, news, websites, even for short periods, just to create space for reflection, creativity, deeper connection.
So finding balance.
Exactly. Think about how much time you spend scrolling through social media, reading news headlines. Imagine reclaiming that time and using it for something that nourishes your mind and soul.
Yeah, I mean, we often underestimate how much the digital world can affect us negatively.
Yeah.
Mentally, emotionally.
It's true. And sometimes the best thing we can do is just unplug and reconnect with the present moment.
This is making me think about my own screen time for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, what is rule number 11?
Rule number 11, the long game, real progress takes time. It takes consistency.
So being patient and not expecting those overnight results.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Trusting the process, understanding that anything worthwhile takes effort and dedication, like going to the gym. You don't see results after one workout. You have to be consistent and patient.
It's about the journey, not just the destination.
Exactly. And celebrate those small wins along the way to keep yourself motivated.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, what's next?
Number 12, building your success machine. This one's about thinking of your efforts not as isolated tasks, but as parts of a larger system that generates results.
So building a system that works for you.
Exactly. Think about it like this. Walking will get you somewhere, but building a car will get you there much faster.
Okay.
Building a car might take more effort up front, but once it's running, you can cover more ground with less energy.
That's a good analogy. So it's about creating systems and processes that streamline your work.
Exactly. Working smarter, not harder, and leveraging your efforts to maximize their impact.
Okay, this is all starting to come together now. What's rule number 13?
Number 13, the power of leverage. You don't have to do everything yourself. Sometimes the fastest way to achieve your goals is to delegate tasks to others or utilize tools and resources that can amplify your efforts.
So effectively outsourcing or delegating those tasks.
Yeah, recognizing your strengths and weaknesses, finding ways to leverage the skills and talents of others.
So if you're not good at something, bring in somebody who is.
Exactly. If you're not good at managing your finances, hire an accountant. If you're spending too much time on administrative tasks, hire a virtual assistant.
So it's about focusing your energy on the things that only you can do and delegating everything else.
Exactly.
All right, that's a good one. What's next?
Rule number 14, the fast track crew. This is about surrounding yourself with people who are operating at a higher level than you.
So it's about the company you keep.
Exactly. When you're surrounded by people who are ambitious, driven, successful, it naturally pushes you to raise your own standards.
It's like a built-in support system that's constantly pushing you to be better.
Totally. It's about creating an environment that fosters growth and inspires you to reach your full potential.
Yeah, it's so easy to get complacent if you're around people who aren't striving for more.
It's true. When you surround yourself with those people who are constantly pushing the boundaries, it becomes contagious.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, we're on the final rule now. What is it?
The 15th rule, riding the waves of change. So this is about recognizing that change is inevitable and learning to adapt to it rather than resisting it.
Being flexible and embracing those unexpected events.
Exactly. It's like surfing. You can't control the waves, but you can learn to ride them.
Instead of fighting against the current, you learn to navigate it and use it to your advantage.
Exactly. Being adaptable, resilient, open to new possibilities.
It's a powerful reminder that change can be an opportunity even when it feels scary or uncomfortable.
Absolutely. It's all about perspective.
Wow, we just went through 15 rules. That was a lot.
We did. We
Okay.
covered a lot of ground. But all these rules are interconnected. They build on each other. It's about shifting your mindset, taking strategic action, and embracing the journey.
So it's like a roadmap to success.
Yeah. And the best part is that these rules can be applied to any area of your life, your career, your health, your relationships, anything that matters to you.
Very cool. I'm
Yeah.
inspired.
Awesome.
I want to try to start implementing these.
Great. That's the key right there.
Yeah.
It's progress, not perfection. Just start with small changes, and you can build from there.
I love that progress over perfection. Okay, we've covered all 15 rules now, but it's kind of a lot to absorb all at once. Is there like a way to simplify it? Like what's the core theme that ties everything together?
Yeah, I'd say it's all about taking control of your progress. Like being really proactive, intentional, making choices that are aligned with your goals.
Not just waiting for things to happen, but making them happen.
Exactly. It's like shifting from that passive mindset to an active one. You're in the driver's seat.
I love that. It's so empowering.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of times we feel like we're kind of stuck, at the mercy of our circumstances. But these rules remind us that we can actually shape our reality.
Totally. And the more you apply these principles, the more you realize how much control you actually have.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so let's go through these 15 rules again, just to kind of recap and solidify it all.
Yeah, sounds good. So we started with the power of one, all about focusing on one achievable goal. Then we talked about finding your North Star, that guiding principle to keep you on track.
Right, and then double down for exponential growth, the power of really focused effort and that compounding effect.
Then we moved into motivation, with fueling your motivation, that push and pull of positive aspirations and avoiding negative consequences.
And then we talked about winning the day before it begins. That was a good one. Setting yourself up for success, planning ahead, removing obstacles.
And then we talked about having that action bias and speed bias. Taking action over thinking, moving quickly, even making mistakes along the way.
Right, and then minimizing distractions, tuning out the noise, unplugging from that digital vortex.
So important today with all the information overload, you know.
You have to be so intentional.
Yeah, creating space for clarity and focus.
Absolutely. And then investing in yourself, investing in expertise. Sometimes it's faster to learn from somebody who's already done it.
And then we talked about perseverance with the 60% rule, embracing completion, pushing through those challenges, seeing those projects through to the end.
Right, and the long game. Real progress takes time, consistency.
Exactly.
It's about the journey.
Then we talked about building your success machine, creating systems and processes that really streamline your work.
And then the power of leverage, delegation, outsourcing.
Yeah.
Working smarter, not harder.
Then the fast track career, surrounding yourself with inspiring people.
Yeah, and then riding the waves of change, adapting, embracing change.
A lot of great tools.
Yeah, it's like a toolkit of strategies that you can use to achieve goals, overcome challenges, create that life that you want.
Exactly.
I'm curious from your experience, what are some of the biggest things that hold people back from making progress?
I think one of the biggest is fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. All of those things can prevent you from taking those risks, pursuing your dreams, stepping outside your comfort zone.
It's like fear paralyzes you.
Yeah, and another one is self-doubt. Underestimating your abilities. Telling yourself you're not good enough, smart enough, worthy enough.
Like a constant negative voice in your head.
Exactly. It can sabotage your efforts and prevent you from even trying.
So how do you overcome that? How do you quiet that inner critic and start to believe in the possibility of success?
Well, I think it starts with awareness. You have to become aware of those negative thoughts and beliefs that are holding you back. Once you're aware of them, you can start to challenge them. Replace them with more positive beliefs.
So changing your mindset.
Yeah. From fear and doubt to a place of confidence and possibility.
Believing in yourself.
Exactly. Believing that you can achieve your goals.
Yeah. It's so easy to get caught up in comparing ourselves to others and feeling like we're not enough. But, everybody's journey is unique and we all have our own strengths.
Absolutely. Focus on your own path, celebrate your own progress, and try not to get caught up in that comparison game.
Such a good point. We all need that reminder.
We do.
This is a powerful message. I love it.
I think it's important to remember we all have the potential to achieve great things. It's just about believing in yourself and taking action.
Yeah, I love that. This has been an incredible conversation. You've given us so much to think about, so many practical tools.
Thanks. It's been great.
And to our listeners, we hope you're feeling inspired to take action. Remember, you have the power to make it happen.
Yeah, it's so easy to get caught up in the negativity, and the self-doubt. But we have the power to choose our thoughts and beliefs.
Totally. And remember, progress is not always linear.
Right.
You're going to have setbacks. You'll have challenges. There'll be moments where you want to give up.
Of course.
But those moments define us.
Yeah.
It's how we respond to adversity that truly shapes our character and determines our success.
So it's not about avoiding failure. It's about learning from it and using it to propel you forward.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Embrace those challenges. Learn from your mistakes. And never, ever give up on your dreams. I love that. This has been so inspiring. Before we wrap up, I want to ask you one more question, and one for our listeners to think about too. What's one thing you could change right now to get more momentum towards your goals?
Ooh, that's a great question to reflect on. It's going to be different for everyone, but it often involves eliminating something that's holding you back.
Okay.
So that could be a bad habit, a limiting belief, a toxic relationship, or even just clutter in your physical space.
So identifying those roadblocks and removing them.
Yeah. Sometimes the biggest breakthroughs come from just letting go of what's no longer serving you.
That's a powerful thought to leave our listeners with. It's not always about adding more. It's about subtracting what's weighing you down.
Exactly. Simplify, focus. Create space for the things that truly matter. That's where real progress begins.
Well, this has been an incredible deep dive into accelerating progress. Thank you so much for sharing all of your insights with us today.
It's been my pleasure.
And to our listeners, we hope this has sparked some new ideas for you and inspired you to take action. Remember, you have the power to change your life. It's time to unleash your potential and make those dreams a reality. Thanks for joining us on the deep dive,